Hello and welcome to the Quincy Access Television Studios. I'm Mark Crosby. Thank you for joining us for this program, In the Know. It helps you to stay informed what's happening in your city, maybe what's available to you. Joining me today from the Department of Planning and Community Development in the city of Quincy is Kate Tenney. And she's going to be talking all about the Office of Healthy Homes. So Kate, welcome. First time.
Nice to be here. Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
First time at QATV. Hopefully
Yes.
not the last. I guess that depends on me.
Definitely not the last.
So let's talk about the Office of Healthy Homes is actually, it's housed, if you will, within the City of Quincy's Planning and Community Development, and there are a couple of programs or a few programs that office oversees.
Yeah, definitely. So the Office of Healthy Homes, we aim to make sure that every house in Quincy is affordable and healthy. And by doing that, we have 3 programs that we are able to help the citizens of Quincy. The first program is our South Shore Healthy Homes program. So that is our lead abatement program. We provide up to $25,000 in a 5-year forgivable loan for qualifying applicants, which is pretty cool. And that is for usually individuals with children under the age of 6. And then our next program is our first-time homebuyers program, and that we provide down payment assistance for individuals looking to buy their first home, and that's in Quincy, Weymouth, Randolph, and Holbrook. And then our next program is our housing rehab program, and we provide up to $30,000 for all healthy housing needs. So that's mold removal, pest removal, radon, just to make your home healthier.
Well, hence the name of the department, right? Talk about your, I guess, position and what I suppose brought you here to QATV. Clearly, it's a function of your job.
Yeah, definitely. So I just started this job a couple months ago, and I'm really liking it so far. So I work as our outreach coordinator for the Office of Healthy Homes. So I'm really trying to bring in these applicants to join our programs. I provide different events throughout the city. We had an event in June. We tabled at the Schools Out event, trying to bring in children, family to join into our programs. We also have upcoming events as well. We'll be at the August Moon Festival in August, the Kilroy Square Farmers Markets, as well as the Quincy Family Fun Day this weekend in North Quincy High School. So definitely I'm here to, market our events, also to promote what our office has to offer for the citizens of Quincy.
Right, so a good point. So if folks are out at any of these events in the city, come visit your table, I guess,
Yeah.
visit your booth?
Yeah, definitely. So we'll have a table. If you have any questions at all about any of our programs or, where we're going to be next, we're definitely there to help you answer any questions. Even if you want to ask if you're eligible to apply, we're there to answer anything that you may need.
So let's talk, I guess, if we could, maybe talk a little more detail about each individual program. Also, at the bottom of the screen throughout this entire show will be a website and a phone number if folks, I guess, want to reach out and maybe aren't at any of these events that you or your department will be at.
Yeah, so for each of the programs, we do have an income eligibility for in order to apply. So I believe for one person living in a house, the income eligibility is around $82,000 a year, and we like to say these income limits are very generous. So most people can apply to the program if they're worried about having lead in their house. Definitely give us a call and check it out. We'd be happy to help. We really want to make sure that every house in Quincy is free of lead, just because it is such a dangerous, toxic environment having your home.
And it's very it's like dust, or it can be like dust, and in which case it becomes inhaled.
Yeah, definitely. So lead is in your soil, it's in your paint, like you said. If you've ever noticed paint chips on your windowsill or anything along the lines of that, it can fall into kids' toys. The paint can actually fall into the soil, and then if your kid is playing outside, they could possibly track it inside through their feet. So it's definitely pretty dangerous to have in your house. So that way we like to have this program, and we can provide, like I said, up to $25,000 to rid it from your home.
The concern would be older construction, newer construction. There shouldn't be a worry about that. But let's assume somebody's watching this that might have or might think that they have lead in their home. What are the steps that they would need to go through?
Yeah, for sure. So if you think you have lead in your home, the first step would be to apply to our program. And like I said, you can call our office, you can apply online, or you
Okay.
can apply in person, totally up to your preference.
And in person, because a lot of people still like in person, where is the department located?
Yeah, so we're located on 34 Coddington Street, and you got to go up to the 3rd floor. But yeah, there we can take any questions you need. We also have staff that speaks Cantonese and Mandarin. So if you are if you speak Cantonese or Mandarin, definitely feel free to come in. We can help you out. And like I said, if you're more tech savvy, you can go online and send it right in, and we'll have all your documents uploaded. So we can help you out with that. And then the next step would be a lead inspector. A certified lead inspector would come in and assess your house and see how much lead in there. We would also have them check out any other healthy home hazards to see if those are in your house as well.
So you had mentioned mold, I believe, earlier, so that's something that they could look for too.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess what I'm thinking is that the lead and housing rehab program really kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely. You read my mind. They work very well, great together, and you can provide. They provide the best assistance when used together. So you can kind of get both pest, mold, radon out, as well as the lead at the same time, which is nice.
And I think one of these, actually, this I wrote on top of, but folks will get to see this on the screen without all my notes.
Yeah.
It's a timeline, correct? So maybe go through the timeline. Obviously, they apply. In this case, an inspector comes to the residence. Let's kind of take it, I guess, from there.
Yeah, so they'll apply, the inspector will come to the residence, and then we'll have contractors come and look at the house. There'll be a bidding process, and once the bidding process is over, they'll kind of do the rehab, and if it looks up to the homeowner's satisfaction, then we'll do the closeout process. So this whole process from start to finish, kind of when you start the application to the final closeout, it takes around 6 months, although it is varied with every single case we get. Just depending on, what type of house, how much you need to rehab. But normally it'll take around 4 to 6 months.
And 4 to 6 months. So I guess my next question is, where do the folks live?
Yeah.
You can't live in the house, or can you?
Yeah, so since lead is very toxic, you do have to relocate, but don't worry, we will take care of all the costs necessary. We can put you in a hotel. So we have a partnership with Staybridge in Quincy, so we can put you there. It's actually pretty cool. They have a suite style, so they'll have a kitchen in there as well. So you don't have to feel like you have to go out every night. You can cook in that little kitchenette suite, or if you find that you have a family member or friend that you can stay with, we'll provide $1,000 to help smooth over that transition. Once the contractors do go into your house, they have all their materials ready, so it should only take 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. So we understand that your time is valuable as well, so we want to get you back into your house as soon as possible. So although you may have to relocate, the relocation is all free, and we'll try and get you back as soon as possible into your house.
And before we move into the first-time home buyer, anything else you'd like to mention about the lead program or the rehabilitation program?
Yeah, definitely, just reiterating, definitely call, see if you're eligible. It's a great program. If we don't use up the money, then it just goes back to the federal government. So we want to try and use it up to make sure all the houses, whether it is rehab to get your house, healthy, or if it is lead, we want to remove the lead.
People might say, well, I don't want to bother them. Well, it's not a bother.
Yeah, it's not.
Actually, it's important. It's important for the family's safety.
Exactly. And, as I mentioned before, lead is so toxic. We want to get that away as soon as possible. So definitely call up our office.
And I guess getting back to what you said about, and what I said about the lead, once it's, I suppose, sanded, once it becomes dust, how easily ingestible it is. A lot of folks might think, well, as long as it stays on the windowsill or on a particular, as long as I don't sand, or as long as I don't disturb it. But you shouldn't be living with lead, period.
Exactly. And, most people will hear, I grew up in an old house and, 60 years later, like, I'm fine. But, it's everywhere. It's on your windowsill. Like I said, it's in your soil. It could be on your ceiling. So it is really harmful for expecting mothers and children, and those side effects from lead that you might not even see until the children is older, until it's too late. So it's definitely a good spot to get it when they're a younger age, or even if you're an expecting mother, it's best to get in right away. It has, behavioral issues as well as lower IQ.
Right, and you might think, people may think of a child chewing a windowsill, because I think that's an image that, kids as they're teething, they'll be doing that. But again, that's not the only way that lead could be, or you could be exposed to lead. Just simple painting of a window, right? We all sand the area that we're going to paint. If that paint had lead in it, we're sanding, we're releasing that lead, and as adults, we're breathing that in. As children, we're breathing that in.
Yep, and especially most people don't even think about the soil. You walk outside, maybe you'll track it inside onto your carpet, and a lot of kids, are crawling on the carpet, or they're playing with toys that are rolling around the carpet, and they might put those toys in their mouth as well. So there's plenty of ways that lead can get into your system, and so you might as well just get it out.
The lead program, this abatement program, and the housing rehab has actually been going on for quite a number of years. Money has been coming in from the federal government to fund this for years.
Yeah, definitely. We just, closed out our last grant. We opened up another one, so we're definitely getting a lot of applications coming in. We have a steady flow, which is great. But like I said, we're still looking for more.
Because Quincy is a big place. There's a lot of people that live here, so certainly a lot of people to make use of such a program.
Exactly, and I think around 50% of Quincy's residents could be eligible for our program, like I said.
As much as 50%?
Right,
Okay, so that's a high number.
It is. We would like to say our income limits are pretty generous, so, if you are a part of that 50%, definitely come back in.
And again, just as we close on this, before we get to first-time home buyers, talk about the eligibility income limit.
Yeah, definitely. So for lead, you are eligible if you have a child under the age of 6, and if you also fall under our eligibility limits. It depends on the amount of people in your house making an income, but if you're just one person, it's about $82,950 annually, which I said is pretty generous. So we have our income limits listed on our website, the officeofhealthyhomes.org, so you can see what it is for 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, etc. You can check it out.
And we will have that up on screen too, to help folks, I suppose, navigate. Okay, so first-time homebuyer program, also a program of the Healthy Homes Department.
Yeah, so for the first-time homebuyers program, we provide up to $20,000 in down payment assistance. So it's really awesome if you're kind of looking for your first home. Definitely come over and check it out. Getting your first home can definitely be stressful, but we're here to help you out, at least with the down payment assistance. But yeah, like I said, we can provide up to $20,000 if you're looking in Quincy, Weymouth, Holbrook, and Randolph as well.
Good. So it's not just City of Quincy housing, it's also in those towns, the
Yep.
surrounding towns.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely along the South Shore.
Is it part of the same grant that the housing, rehab, and the lead is part of?
Yeah, so the lead grant just deals with the lead. For the housing rehab, it is a deferred zero interest loan.
Okay, good.
Yep, so that also is for the first time home buyers too.
With the interest rates going up, and I think another rate hike was mentioned even this morning, certainly assistance for a down payment, it's always attractive, right? But it's even more attractive in an environment, in a situation where interest rates are rising.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great to come, especially because our loans are zero interest. You kind of don't even have to worry about the rising interest rates, just because we do offer a 15-year loan, 30-year loan, or deferred loan as well, depending on the case.
Oh, great. Okay, because exactly. So there are varying, I guess, time frames involved. The rate is always
Zero.
So yeah, it almost is, when they call things no-brainers,
Yeah.
it's really a no-brainer.
Yeah.
How could you not? How many, I guess, and again, I know you're new to the department, but are you surprised sometimes, or is your department surprised at how many people don't realize this program exists?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because we're kind of sitting here and we have, we want to help the public. We have these grants. We're trying to get our name out there as best as possible. I mean, before kind of joining the Office Healthy Homes, and I briefly interned here last summer as well, I was unaware. I was unaware to these programs. So I'm kind of trying to spread the word, just to make sure that we do have these awesome zero interest programs, and trying to tell your mom, tell your brother, tell your friends, to make sure they come in and call if they have any questions at all.
Right, and the first-time home buyer is exactly that. You have to be a first-time home buyer for that program.
Yep,
Makes
you
total
do.
sense.
Yep, and then you also just have to take a brief first-time home buyer course, and then you're all set to go.
Very good. I think we probably covered it pretty well here. I don't know if there's anything that I haven't mentioned, you haven't mentioned, that you might like to bring up.
I think we covered it all.
Okay.
If I didn't mention anything, or if you have any questions, like I said, there's detailed information on our website. So if you have any questions at all, come look at the website, or like I said, always call us. We're there to help you out.
I want to thank you for watching, and I certainly want to thank Kate for joining me today. And if you certainly want to see programs like this one, Quincy Access Television, your local source for information just like this, please continue to support local access TV in the city of Quincy. Until next time, take care.